Selling sports cards as a side hustle comes with 1,000,001 small, monotonous tasks that pile up very quickly. I've had so many late nights where I'm making shipment runs to USPS like around midnight just to drop off $30 worth of sports cards so that I don't get dinged off eBay. And sometimes I wonder if the lemon's worth the squeeze for stuff like that. And it got me thinking, what if there's a way to scale my sports card business with less than half the effort? And the big caveat is without sacrificing a huge chunk of profit. Today I'm looking into the next step of how we're going to do that so that I can continue to make profit selling sports cards while maximizing my free time so that I can work on other aspects of the business, such as creating content and the art side of the business. If you think that this sounds too good to be true, you're not alone. That's why I'm doing this deep dive today. I'm really interested in looking into consignment on eBay. Chances are you've heard of the big dogs, DC Sports 87, Propstein Auctions. These guys have literally sold millions of cards. I'm nerding out over this stuff for our benefit. I want to go in and find out which seller has the best turnaround time, the best fee structure, and maximizes return. So here's the setup. I've been stacking up football cards all off season. If you've been watching the channel, you know that I harp on this. There's so many auctions that go undervalued just because there's not enough eyes on it. Take these for example. We've got a CJ Stroud Select Rookie Patch out of 35, and this JJ McCarthy National Convention Purple Color Match out of 15. I'm into both of these for less than $100 combined. I have a Zion case full. I have all my storage here. It's gonna be a lot. It just seems exhausting thinking about listing, packaging, shipping, all of these cards, dealing with the messages you get. Oh, this one has like a little bit white on the corner. This one's got a little printing dimple. That means that it's not near mint, even though it's off the factory line. All right, let's get into it. I want to look at DC Sports. They're huge. Everybody knows them. Propstein. They're huge. Everybody knows them. But I'm also going to throw in a smaller contender, MC Sports Cards. I just kind of like their brand. They seem very clean. They have quick turnaround times from what I've heard. And I think it'll be interesting to see if some of these smaller consigners compete with the big dogs. So like I said, to compare this, there's three big categories that I'm looking at. Fee structure, turnaround times, and how much the cards actually go for. Because the biggest benefit to using a consigner is that they have thousands and thousands of eyeballs on all of their listings. Even though my eBay store does well, I can't compete with that volume. So for a small fee, you get your cards in front of all these guys. Pretty good deal. Seems like a fair trade, especially when I don't want to do all this labor, right? You got to make sure that the cards you're sending are to the right audience, because if there's a consigner where everything sells for 10% less and then you're eating another 5% of fees, it's not a good trade-off. I'm looking for a clear winner where I can feel confident shipping out these sports cards as we approach the preseason. I'm going to start with DC Sports 87. The most familiar to me, I've done a lot of buying through them. On their website, I'll pull up the fee chart. They have an 82 to 85% payout for the value of cards that I'm going to be sending in. But if you have your own stuff, you can refer to the chart. But they also add $1 per card. Turnaround times range from 9 days, but they update this on their website. That's just the standard listing. You can also do express, but the average value of the card has to be over $25, and you cannot ship in more than 20 cards. You can also do premium listings, which are going to be listed within 24 hours that they receive it. There's a $5 price tag per card, and even if I go through them, I'm not going to be terribly interested in doing that. Next up, Propstein. They have their own price sheet here, or here, wherever it is. They have an interesting minimum for a card. It has to be valued at least at $35, otherwise it's going to get shipped back to you. I'm not 100% confident on that, but this is what their website says, verbatim. Raw cards under $35 will not be accepted and will be returned to the consigners. Consigners will be responsible for the return shipping fee. I don't know why $35. I don't know if they're trying to push the high-end stuff. It's kind of an interesting cutoff to me. And I couldn't find much in terms of turnaround time. I think it depends on the volume that they're getting. Online from reports and forums and stuff, I've seen that he will take the most expensive stuff out of lots and list that earlier, and then over the course of the next week, your other cards will get listed. And then finally, let's look at MC Sports Cards. What's their fee structure like? Boom, there it is. For the cards that I'm interested in sending in, there's about an 85% payout, but if it goes below a certain point, there's a $3 fee per card, which is pretty steep. The good thing is I saw that their listing speeds can be very quick, but you would kind of expect that because they have less sales volume, right? And then there's something interesting I found while researching this video. They do occasionally run promos where the payout percentages will be higher. that is 100% something I'm going to be keeping my eye out for. So those are the numbers. They seem pretty standard across the board. Nobody's really standing out to me yet, at least for the price range that I'm interested in selling. So I think the biggest factor on who I'm going to ship my cards to is going to depend on what the cards actually go for. I'm looking at different cards and different price tiers, but similar to the types of cards I would be sending in to see if there's an overperformer in this category. If there were multiple sales of a certain card, then I just averaged them. And then I'm going to try to compile the numbers into a bar chart. Probably nothing fancy, nothing objective, just kind of eyeballing it. But I think it'll help. Just for a visual comparative, it's not going to be anything absolutely crazy. So the cards I'm going to be looking at is a Bo Nix Donruss Optic Dual Downtown. Very sought after, should perform well. Drake Mays Silver Prism. Kind of a mid-tier rookie quarterback, right? Coming into his second year, there should be some excitement. They improved across the board. We'll see. And then Jaden Daniels Donruss Pink Optic in a PSA 10. The reason I thought it'd be interesting to do a PSA 10 for a player like Jaden Daniels is that guys like him with a lot of hype and great rookie seasons tend to do especially well in a PSA 10 slab. So, all second-year quarterbacks, but like I said, those are kind of the cards that I'm looking to send in. Might be interesting to do a video like this for other types of cards just to keep a tab on the market, but we'll see. Let me know if you guys are interested in that. Looking at the Bo Nix, right? DC Sports sold for $845. MC Sports sold for $810, a little bit less. And then Probstein sold for $797. That is a massive amount of volatility for a card that is as sought after as this one. I was very surprised that Probstein's was $50 less than DC, especially since it seems like they're kind of trying to push the higher end stuff. So here's the bar chart for that, just to kind of visualize it. Next is Drake May's Rookie Silver Prism. Like I said, kind of a mid-range quarterback, some excitement. Silver Prism, super collectible though, so these should be flying off. On DC, I found a couple sales. They averaged out to $60. On MC Sports, it also averaged to $60. And Probstein was $50. With the $35 cutoff, people might get a little nervous if it underperforms. Maybe they're not going to be going into the Drake May Silver Prism range. I don't know. $10 on a $60 card, that's pretty significant, especially once you consider the fees that are going to be tacked on top of this, right? Finally, we got Jaden Daniels Pink Preview from Donruss Optic in a PSA 10. The premium for the 10, I think, gets people excited to bid a little bit more. For DC, Jaden sold for $130. MC sold for $125, $124, averaged out. And then Probstein sold for $114. We're definitely getting a little bit of a trend here. So let's compile all this data into one bar graph. Hopefully that's aesthetic enough for you. You can clearly see DC slightly edging out everybody else. MC's pretty competitive, and then Probstein's just falling behind with some of the modern sports cards, which I thought was very interesting. And they were definitely somebody I was considering prior to this video, so it's good to see this. Now, this is where the different fee structures come in, because even though they sell for similar amounts, is there a difference after they take their cut in what I'm going to get as a consignor through them? So, once we take into account the unique fee structures that these guys have in place, the chart actually looks like this. And these are the numbers that you would expect to actually come back into your bank account after selling through them. Using all that information, nerding out for a little bit, hope you enjoyed it. DC, I think, slightly edges out everybody else. However, MC, if you keep an eye on those promos, that's definitely something I'm going to be utilizing going forward. I do think that the $3, for the value of the cards that I'm trying to send in bulk to these guys, the $3 fee under X amount is kind of a killer for me, especially when you account for that $2 to $3 overperformance from DC on the market. I mean, and then the higher end stuff's even more. So I have nothing against Probstein. I was pretty surprised to see that they underperformed in this. One of the reasons I think this was the case is because they just scanned them in, and that definitely hurt the quality of their listing. It's a little bit less clickable. On the silver Drake May, you couldn't really tell that it was a silver. It kind of looked like a base. So if somebody's just scrolling past, it's not going to catch their eye. And if you don't sell a lot on eBay, that can 1,000% make a $10 difference on a $60 card. 100%. 100%. So I don't know if that is the case, but I think it could be. This is going to be a really cool opportunity for Cards and Canvas to continue to scale and help me just lean into the art. And things like that just take a lot of time. So let's put together my first submission for this. I'm going for inventory that's kind of stagnant on my eBay and that I just kind of want to force a sale for because it's just sitting there. And then I'm also looking at cards that I have very little in that I think will do well on a consignor, just getting more eyes on it. The risk reward's pretty low because I've already gotten most of my money out from the lot that I purchased this card in. I'm just excited to learn this process because preseason is approaching quickly, so I want to have this down pat before we get to that point. All right, let's look at the cards. Here are the cards that I pulled out and decided I'm going to ship to DC Sports. Jordan Love, Deca out of 49. Garrett Wilson, Origins Pedigree, rookie case hit. Drake London, Glass Mosaic, rookie case hit. Randy Moss on the Super Bowl version. It's Rookie Masters with the Super Bowl. Juan Soto covering the field. This is actually out of 50. Justin Herbert out of 25. Lamar Jackson, Green Scope. Some lower end, Estime out of 50. Patrick Mahomes, No Huddle Prism. Caleb on the X Fractor. The pair for the J Love, Josh Jacobs out of 49. Elway, Red Sparkle. Jerome Bettis, Red Sparkle. Latu on the Pedigree. And then Hawkinson on the red checkerboard. Got some good variety in here. It'll be interesting to see how they perform. I feel good if all of these underperform. I'm not out that much money. If you guys found this video interesting, stick around because I'll do another video once we get our results back from the consignment. Please consider subscribing, and if you're interested in how I acquired a lot of these cards, where I go through tips to make sure that you don't hold the wrong cards through preseason. Learn from my mistakes. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Let me talk your ear off. See ya.